welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, I'm Sue of Bendnstretch with Sue. In today's video, I'll be taking you through a beginner's practice for Pilates. So come onto your back. We'll move into a supine neutral position to begin as you align the legs with the hips and take a moment to also ground through the pelvis, the shoulder blades, as well as the center back of the head. We want to maintain a neutral spinal alignment, which means we do that through the neck also by pressing through the center back of the skull, keeping the forehead chin level, ensuring that the pelvis is neither tilted anteriorly or posteriorly. So we want to keep it right in the middle so the contents of that pelvis, if you can imagine, stay snugly in place so they're not spilling back or forward. So as you maintain this alignment, take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale through the mouth, relaxing through the jaw. Take a couple more like that, breathing in fully. Feel the belly rising as you breathe in and feel it contracting as you breathe out. A couple more breaths like that. And on your next exhale, you're going to hold the tension in the abdomen. You can put your hand there to ensure the belly is no longer rising. So you're still taking full breaths, but the engagement of those abdominal muscles is going to force your breath laterally into the ribs, chest, sides of the body, and into the back. So that is what we call the powerhouse. And we want to maintain engagement of the powerhouse as we execute movement. So ensuring that the pelvis stays in that neutral position, just getting used to the movement of the pelvis as you imagine your sacrum, that big flat bone at the base of the spine, kind of be like a clock where the tailbone would be 6 o'clock. So bring some pressure to 6 o'clock. And the top would be 12 o'clock. So bring pressure to 12 o'clock. And continuing to alternate between 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock to create some tilting of the pelvis. So this really emphasizes the movement that comes from the pelvis, and as you come back to neutral, engaging the powerhouse is going to help you to stabilize so that you can execute movement of the arms and legs. So from here, keeping the pelvis level, you can take the fingertips to ensure that there's no movement there as you extend one leg and bring it back in again. Extending the other leg and bring it in. So as you do this, you want to make sure that you're not arching your back or really pushing it into the floor, but rather you're maintaining your neutral alignment. Now let's repeat that same sort of exercise, but adding more load now on the powerhouse while we bring the legs into tabletop, beginning with toe taps as we tap one group of toes to the floor and then the other foot to the floor. So alternating side to side to load up the pelvis or the powerhouse more, and possibly doing two legs at the same time. And while you do this, and ensure that your pelvis stays level, you will really feel yourself working those abdominal muscles. Rule of thumb is you breathe in when it's easy and you breathe out when it's difficult. And bring those toes back to the floor, replacing the whole foot down. From here, keeping the arms at your sides, take a breath in to lift the arm up, exhale to bring it back, and inhale to bring it where you started. Same thing with the other arm, exhaling it back and inhale it in position, alternating side to side. So as you execute this movement, you want to ensure that you're not letting the ribs flare upward. Again, this would cause you to arch your back. So you want to make sure your back is staying nice and stable. So these are really fundamentals of Pilates. Now as you bring your arms both of them, if you want to add more load on those abdominal muscles, notice how much control and strength you need, concentration to keep those ribs from popping up and keep yourself really stable and in position. So now that we're nice and warm, you can let the head tilt side to side as well, stretching out the neck. We'll continue with warming up even further to move into a very modified beginner's 100 version. So as we keep that powerhouse on, you can stretch the arms to hover above the floor, keeping your collarbones nice and open, and perhaps keeping the head on the floor or tucking the chin in to lift the head and take your gaze forward. So looking to your thighs, through your thighs, and keeping the coming up on the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. If you want more, at any point, should the neck start to feel like it is straining in any way, just bring the head back down again. We are going to begin to inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 10. Inhale 2, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 20. Inhale 2, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 30. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 40. Inhale 2, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 50. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 60. Inhale 2, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 70. Inhale 2, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 80, making sure that the body is staying nice and still. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 100, and bring it back down again. From here, you can stretch the arms long, you can stretch the legs long, breathing in fully. And as we take it back to our supine neutral, we'll simply roll onto the side to move into the roll up exercise. But again, because we are modifying it in a very basic beginner's version, we'll start from the top and working our way down rather than starting from the bottom, working our way up. This enables you also to hold on to the legs, which can make it easier, giving you more support as you train the muscles of your abdominals. So breathing in to open up the chest proud, tucking the chin and really drawing, scooping the belly in here as you roll down, keeping your gaze forward toward the knees and then rolling back up again. So you can keep the hands to the legs to help really connect with the muscles of your abdomen without creating so much struggle that you put any kind of strain in the back. You really want to create a strong, healthy back. And this is a great way to begin to make that mind-body connection with those abdominal muscles. So let's do one more like that. Executing fully, breathing out when it's challenging, and breathe in at the top. This time, we're going to roll it all the way down to our backs once again. So coming into a stretched out position. Now you can adjust your left leg or ground it with a bent knee, or maybe straightening it as you bring your right leg up. Now, lowering the leg back down again, you once again want to make sure that the pelvis is staying level here. So if it's easier for you to keep a bend in the other leg, go ahead and do that. That can be more helpful in keeping your spine neutral. If your hamstrings are really tight, you might find there's a considerable bend in the knee as you execute this. Now let's bring the leg up, holding it up as straight as you can, so don't worry about it if there's a bend in it. Making sure your pelvis is not moving as you open the leg out to the side. Flex the ankle, point the toes as you bring it in, and flex as you open. So again, keep that pelvis really stable. So you're going to find that your abdominal muscles here have to work really hard to give you that stability. Let's do one more out to the side. Bring it back and change legs. So bringing your other leg up. Again, Bend it if necessary. Keep that pelvis level and lower the leg and lift. Pay attention to what's going on in the back here. Are you able to keep that spine perfectly neutral as you execute this? So the strength comes from that powerhouse, which also involves the pelvic floor muscles. They need to be engaged to maintain that really deep core support. So on the next one that we lift up, we're going to hold it here, open out to the side as you flex the ankle, point as you bring it back to center. Flex and point. Breathe in and breathe out when it's challenging. One more. And bring it back down again. As you bring the knees in, give yourself a little release once again. A nice little back massage can feel quite nice. Keeping the hands over the kneecaps as you roll them, circle them one way, circle them the other way. And as you make your way back to the center, we'll bring we'll keep the legs in tabletop. As we come into the single knee stretch, taking your left hand on your right knee, reaching for your right ankle with your right hand. So pulling yourself up through the center, and you can release the head down here as you prepare to switch and lift up again. And come down, switch and lift, lower and reach. Now you could stay up and just reach opposite side, reach. Once again, this is a very modified version just to help you to get started and get a sense of the full execution of those Pilates exercises. As you bring it back to the center, we're going to move into the double leg stretch as you extend both legs up, bringing the arms up, breathe in, and circle to tuck. Reach up, and you can bring the head all the way to the floor and circle tuck. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathing in when it's easy, breathing out. Let's do two more, just like that. And bring it all the way back down again. So from here, we'll bring the arms up sides and opening up through the chest as you ground through the feet and begin to tilt your pelvis in such a manner that the tailbone is now pointing up toward the sky. So you're tilting posteriorly, so the contents would spill back as you continue to lift your spine away from the mat to come all the way into a Pilates bridge. Slowly begin to lower down as you bring your spine back to your mat, beginning from the top and working your way down toward the sacrum. Breathing in at the bottom and breathe out, peeling it away again. So the height to which you come will vary depending how much strength you have. This really works the backs of the legs as well as continues to work the powerhouse. You can also have some assistance here from the arms as you press them firmly into your mat. So this will activate the triceps. And last time, roll it all the way back down again. And once again, we'll stretch the legs out nice and long, reach them out long, inhale. And as you exhale, let's roll on to our side. As you cradle the head, we are going to align the body so that you've got a nice straight line through your body. So if you use the edge of your mat, that can be a really good guide. And you can have your top hand on the floor in front of you to help you to stay more supported. So once again, you're keeping the powerhouse engaged here, and you are going to lift the top leg up and bring it back toward the bottom. So lifting and lowering. So this does seem like a fairly easy exercise but there's a lot of control going on here. You've got the control going on in your powerhouse still. There's lots of work on the outside of your thigh and the hip as you lift the leg with control, and as well when you're lowering the leg. There's still quite a bit of resistance that you're applying to that top leg. Breathing in and out when it's challenging. Breathe in when it's easy. One more time. And bring it back to hover above the leg. Reach through those tippy toes, circling back with your leg. So you're moving the leg right from the hip joint, and you're doing these rotations with smooth execution. There's still a little bit of zest to the movement, control and concentration. And as you do this, you don't want to have a circle too large. So we're only looking to keep that circle about the size of a dinner plate. And then we're going to switch and move in the opposite direction. So same control, making sure that you're staying stable really does require a lot of work. It's one thing to just circle the leg around and have a floppy kind of leg and not a lot of control in the body. But once you firm up everything, you'll notice that it's a lot of work. As you bring that leg back down, we'll reach using the top hand to bring the foot forward. So you're bringing that foot nice and flat in front of you to hold the ankle. Now, if that was too challenging, you could also rest the knee or rest the foot, maybe bringing up a pillow underneath your knee to give it some additional support. But we want to bring isolation now into the bottom leg as you reach through the heel, flexing the ankle to lift and to lower, lifting and lowering. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we'll point through the toes as we circle back, forward and back for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go the other way for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it. As you bring yourself onto the opposite side, we'll bring our bodies once again into alignment right along the edge of the mat. So stacking the shoulders, stacking the hips. You can rest your head on the arm so that you've got a nice neutral alignment through your spine. You could use a blanket underneath the head here also, just to make it a little bit more comfortable if needed. And from here, we're going to begin to lift and lower. So lifting and lowering. But make sure that you're not rolling back. So you will be stacked on the side of your hip, the side of your leg. So you're not resting back onto your buttocks at all, but rather you're using your powerhouse to keep you well supported. And as you bring that leg down, we'll reach through the toes as we circle. So again, you're keeping those circles about the size of a dinner plate. So it's a smooth, controlled execution. You're really keeping your navel pull towards your spine. You're keeping your breath smooth, keeping your shoulders and your jaw relaxed as well. Then circle in the opposite direction. Keep that movement coming right from the hip joint. So think about keeping your pelvis lifted out of the hips. So it's like you're reaching through that leg to keep it moving freely. So there's no sense of grinding in the joint at all. Now as you bring a bend to that leg, you're going to reach for the ankle, reaching through the foot, and from here, we're going to lift and lower. So lots of control, really reaching through the heel, reaching through the sole of that foot, as again, you are staying stacked and aligned on the side of your body. Now, as you bring the leg up, we're going to point the toes, and again, circling forward and back for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and circle the other way for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release it. So while we're on our side, we're simply going to make a little bit of a roll over to our stomach. From here, bringing the tip of the nose to the floor, tucking the tailbone under, and then stacking the hands on top of each other so you can rest your forehead here. Keeping the tailbone tucked, so you want to feel like you're trying to lengthen your lower back, and that will help to decompress it. You're lifting your belly button to toward your spine, and as you press through the tops of the feet, we are going to take a breath in using the exhale to lift the head and the arms as much of the ribs as you can away from the floor and to lower again, breathing in at the bottom and breathing out to lift. So continue with that very precise execution, lots of control, lots of strength. So 4 more of these. 2, 1, and bring it down. Bring the hands just outside of your chest. Draw the elbows toward each other, pressing up and pushing back into a child's pose or a shell stretch, as it is known in Pilates. Take a few breaths here. Let your forehead remain heavy. You can even bring the arms at your sides to open up through the back a little bit more, feeling and enjoying that length, that stretch, space to force the breath into that stretches the back quite nicely. And as you make your way back up again, ready to bring this practice to conclusion. So I really want to thank you so much for your time today. I hope that you found this helpful and beneficial. And do let me know in the comments below what sort of content you'd like to see, any questions that you have. I'll be happy to answer as well. Give me one of these if you liked it. Be sure to share it and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so that you'll know when I upload new content, and that way you can check it out and check me out in the next video. Namaste.